Bang bang.
Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang. Bang, bang, bang.
NERVOSA à l'instant dans Bang Bang pour cette spéciale Hellfest 2025. Et oui, encore une année où nous sommes présents. On est ravis. D'ailleurs, on remercie le Hellfest de nous offrir cette possibilité, l'occasion d'interviewer les groupes que nous diffusons. Bonsoir NERVOSA.
Hey, hello.
Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
How are you? How do you feel after your show?
Oh, I feel great and sad at the same time
Yeah.
because we had the opportunity to make the warm-up tour for Hellfest.
Yeah.
We did a lot of shows here in France, and the last thing would play here.
Oh,
So
yeah.
everything is
Means the
over.
end.
So we are sad, but we are extremely happy because we did one of our best show ever. The crowd was amazing, one of the best.
Really good.
Yes, we are like insanely happy.
That's
Hot
good.
and happy.
Yes, it's melting, dying, but happy.
But happy.
What do you think about the French audience?
Oh, one of the best in the world so far.
Really?
Yes. The people were doing. No, the people were doing like the wall of death.
Yeah,
Without
yeah.
we ask. That is great, man.
Mosh
The
pits
mosh
all the
pits,
time.
yes. Like it was insane. This was giving us like a lot of energy because it was very hard for us because of the weather. And
Yeah.
we play in the tent, so it's warmer there. For me, it was very hard because I needed air, to sing all the time because the technique that I use, it's with a lot of air. So can you imagine you be like for 45 minutes doing like this? It's like, yes, you start to see everything black, I was in my limit, but the people, like the energy of the people was keeping me there. Like she almost faint.
Yeah.
She had like
After the show, I went to the paramedics, but I'm good now.
Oh.
They just
Sorry.
checked a bit. I'm good. I didn't pass out. I noticed in time. I say to our tour manager, Andrea, I'm gonna sit right now. Please take care of my stuff, and they did, and I cooled down a bit, and now I'm good.
Yeah.
But it was definitely worth it. It was an amazing show. The people are crazy, and we love it so much.
And the people were keeping us there. Right?
Yeah.
I think all of us, all the girls were almost like, we were like, but the people were like so nice that it was yes.
Just keep going.
Yeah, when you
Yeah.
drive a car with just a little bit of gasoline, that was the sensation, exactly.
Vous faites du thrash, pour les gens qui ne connaissent pas NERVOSA, c'est quand même une musique qui est extrême. Pourquoi vous avez choisi de faire ce genre musical? On parle beaucoup de santé mentale ici, et il y a toujours une raison de nos choix.
You guys are playing thrash metal, and how did you get to the point of willing to playing thrash metal? Is it because we're talking about exactly mental health, about issues you can have and you have to deal with in the future? Is it something that actually fueled your need to play this kind of music, very extreme music, or?
I think it was a call, let's say like that. I don't know how to explain exactly, because since I was very young, like child or starting the teenager era, something like that, I was the only one in all my friendship or my family that liked thrash metal. And still for nowadays, it's my favorite kind of music. I love other kind of musics as well, but thrash metal, it's always beating my heart, So I think it's because we can mix many things in thrash metal. Example, NERVOSA, it's not a 100% a thrash metal band. We also had influences from death metal. And from nowadays, we have a more heavy metal, punk, a lot. So I like this possibility. Like example, bands like Testament, they are brilliant. They have melody, but also they have that thrash beat all the time there. So it's something like I can hide, It's pushing
You
me.
can't ignore. It's calling you.
Exactly.
Ça fait du bien du coup. À la fin, quand on joue cette musique, vous êtes soulagé, vous vous sentez mieux, plus libre peut-être.
After playing a show, after playing your music, you must feel like relieved from the anger, from just taking your demons out after playing a show like this on stage.
Kind of. Because actually it's feeding them also. So I want more,
Yeah, of course.
Kind of.
C'est un groupe qui vient un peu du monde entier, on va dire ça comme ça. Toi, tu es d'origine brésilienne, si je ne dis pas de bêtises. C'est une volonté que ce groupe soit un peu planétaire, je dirais.
it's an international band somehow. Is it something you wanted to do, like to plan to have an band with members from all around the world? Was it?
No, it's not something planned, but was something from the destiny, let's say, because NERVOSA started being an all-female band from Brazil till 2020 when we split. And then I started searching for girls around the world. Of course, in some territories was a bit impossible logistically talking. The most part of the activities for NERVOSA, it's in Europe. And I am also a European citizen. So for me, it was easy to move to Europe. And the girls that I was finding to complete NERVOSA was already with a professional experience, which was a bit harder in Brazil, because Brazil, it's isolated from the world. So the girls don't have that much opportunity there. And NERVOSA, it's already in a level doing a lot of professional things. So I cannot have the risk to hire someone that is still learning, or I can, but not everybody, let's say. So the things happen like in Europe. And in Europe, basically in 2020, when the pandemic was starting and we didn't have the consequences, back in time, the flights between Europe was very cheap. I say it's very possible. But then I decided to move it to Europe. So I live currently now in Greece, which our guitarist is from Greece, and our another bassist also is from Greece. And we have her that she's also a bassist, and she's from Netherlands. So now we are all in Greece, and she flies there to work with us here and there. So yeah, that is how the things happen.
Et de justement devenir un peu de tous ces endroits, est-ce qu'on voit la musique, enfin votre style de musique de la même façon, ou est-ce que selon le pays ça change? Parce qu'en fait, en vrai, quand on regarde des British, quand on regarde des Français, on ne voit pas le thrash metal ou le metal même globalement de la même façon. Ça ne porte pas les mêmes bases, quoi.
Well, coming from different countries, maybe you see metal or thrash metal differently, because when you grew up in Brazil, in Greece, or in the Netherlands, it's not exactly the same metal culture in these different countries.
I think metal, it's the same in everywhere. What is changes the culture beyond the metal, because actually metal, it's one language.
Yeah.
You know, like we dress in the same way, we like the same bands, we know the same musicians, we are fan of the same kind of things. And we've been in China, example, that I never heard anything about metal there. And we see that they are start to open the borders there and start to making metal events there. We had the opportunity to play in a pop festival that was a huge one. We didn't expect that because we didn't know, we didn't have like any information about the festival. We were expecting something like indoor festival for 400 people. We arrived there was 20,000 people with a huge stage, and all the Chinese is crazy doing mosh pits, like a lot of mosh pits. I think they never did mosh pits in their life. That was the feeling. Of course they did, but I mean, that was the sensation, like, what the fuck? Because it was only pop bands.
We were thinking they were not gonna like us that much.
Yeah, there was
we
two
thought,
options.
maybe they will just watch and maybe enjoy a bit, but they were going absolutely crazy.
Yes.
It was amazing.
So metal, it's like one language all the world. I think what it's changing, it's the economic thing between of the countries. As I say, like coming from Latin America, we are far from the world, and the things there, we deal with the poor and misery and a huge violence inside of my country. Talking about it, it's very sad. I love my country. I miss a lot to live there, but I feel unsafe many times. It's very sad. I hope we can fix that, you know, because it's a beautiful country, but it's our reality. So it's something like it's inspired us to write our lyrics as well.
C'est sérieux, de tout ce que tu dis, c'est très dur. Enfin, tu le dis, on sent quand même une vibration. C'est très dur, et la musique, finalement, devient aussi cette thérapie qui te permet de tenir un peu loin de ton pays, en espérant bien sûr que tu puisses y retourner. Donc le trash te permet d'avoir toute cette énergie. Tu l'as dit, ça le nourrit. Hein. Donc ça nourrit cette bataille.
Yeah, we can feel like maybe some sadness in your eyes when you talk about the situation in Brazil, and maybe like playing music is a way also to try to manage these emotions and to channel them into music.
Exactly. I think the metal scene in Brazil is huge.
Yeah.
Yes, and mainly the thrash metal. The thrash metal in Brazil, like Sepultura, like, it's nothing. So, yeah, like everyone, I think it's in the same page. Like everyone knows what's going on there, and when we talk about it in our lyrics, anyone get mad because they know that it's the truth, And I actually depends on which side you are. In the end, we all want basically the same, which is peace.
Yeah, of course.
And have like the minimum of comfortable life, That's the point. The problem in Brazil, like the difference, it's huge. You have someone, the misery, living on the street and eat foods from the floor, like in a very bad, inhuman way. And at the same time, you have someone with a huge house, like a billionaire, So the balance there, it's very bad.
Between, right?
Nothing in between. So the favelas, everybody knows that it's very violent. There's a lot of people that it's really cool. They try to have a decent life and be a correct person, but sometimes, like all the systems involve them. They obligate them to follow some stuff that they don't want, but or they follow or they die. So it's like a very heavy.
We're going to talk about music. Maybe it's Pierre. Comment est-ce que vous voyez toutes les deux la scène métal aujourd'hui? Est-ce que vous la voyez plus belle qu'auparavant, différente? Quel est votre point de vue sur la scène métal actuelle?
What's your opinion on the new metal scene? Because it's changed quite a lot in the last few years. What's your feeling about it? How do you feel being part of it?
I feel like that it's amazing bands coming with a different style that never was done before. And also I think there are way more female in a bands and all female bands also, which is great. Here is an example. Today, like almost at the same time, played us, Burning Witches, Kitty, The Warning, all of these all female bands. It's something that I'm really proud to be part of this, So yeah, that's great. And I hope this is keeping growing. And I used to say like the future of the metal is in the hands of women. Maybe I'm right, maybe I'm wrong. But what you can see, like the next bands that are coming, there are a lot of women.
You want to say something more?
Let me think. Yeah, I have to add that I'm also seeing way more young girls in the audience, which I love a lot. Because they are, like, women in bands are getting more normalized. So for them, it's not like a huge step to start playing an instrument, because they see lots of women everywhere doing it. And I think it makes it easier for them, and I love it.
Bon, c'est un exemple, et puis, oui. You want to say something more? No.
No, I just remember like our first tour here in Europe. We were the only all-female bands touring. And we were meeting other girls, and now the things has changed, and I love it.
On est très heureux aussi, et ça fait du bien. And balance is better. Et dans les messages aussi, tu sens quelque chose de différent? Vous avez vos messages, mais dans les messages du métal, tu sens qu'il y a un peu plus de bienveillance, peut-être plus de belles choses, je dirais, de positivité.
Do you think that in the topics, the messages that are given through music, through the lyrics, have they changed in the last few years? Maybe there's more, I don't know, positivity, there's more understanding, or etc. Instead of violence. Maybe is it something also you've noticed changing in the last few years?
Yes, I think it's because what was more violent, I think it's thrash metal and death metal, all of this extreme music, and I think we should keep on going with that because make part of this. But the new generation, the new like metal wave, what the modern metal, I think it's more sensitive. Yeah. They are talking maybe about more or less the same topics, but in a sensitive way, more. It's different, but I think it's brilliant. We need something different.
A bit less direct, I feel. Like it's the same kind of topics, but worded in a different way.
Yeah.
Bon, en tout cas, vous êtes un exemple et ça fait du bien de vous avoir ici. Merci beaucoup en plus d'avoir accepté cette interview. On aime mettre en avant dans l'émission les groupes de femmes aussi. C'est important de participer à ça. Donc déjà, merci pour ça. Merci de votre influence parce que vous influencez beaucoup de filles, comme on l'a dit, beaucoup de femmes qui disent « Tiens, je peux le faire moi aussi ». Donc bravo pour ça.
Thank you very much for agreeing to do the interview, and also and firstly for influencing girls to take a guitar, to take the drums and play and go on stage and go out and play the music. So you are an influence to all these girls. And
Thank you so much. We are happy to be in this position, and we hope we can inspire more women and see next year, the next, more and more. Thank you so much.
Et un jour,
Thank you.
je pense que ce qui sera bien, c'est qu'on ne différencie plus, parce qu'il y aura autant de femmes que d'hommes, pour plus parler que de ça.
yeah, it would be awesome that in a few years we don't have to specify it's a female fronted band, but just it's a band and you don't really know if it's a man or girl. You don't care really.
Exactly. We are on the way.
Getting there.
Pour terminer, vous devez choisir juste un clip, pas un clip à vous, un clip qui représente quelque chose de fort pour vous. Voilà, un seul.
You have to pick one music video clip, not of you, but of any other band that represents the vibes you're on, the place you were here, or just a band that influenced you in the past.
Slayer, Raining Blood.
Of course.
Yes.
Thank you so much for everything. You want to choose one too?
It's really hard.
Yeah, it's a hard question, yes.
But I think for me, the most influential are live videos, because if I see a live video, I see the audience, I see people going, I'm like, I want to do this, I want to go there. So I would say live videos of any of my favorite bands.
We're gonna do it.
Great, nice.
Thank you so much for everything.
Thank you very
Have a great
much.
time and thank you for your music.
Thank you,
Thank
merci.
you too. Merci beaucoup.